and asking him to please forgive us if we've committed any wrong or sin without the knowledge of what it is that we've committed. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Please stand with me as we pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Board of Adjustments is a 9-member board, and we're appointed by the City Council, and we serve on a voluntary basis without compensation. Our procedure for conducting business is that I will call the petitioner's name. If you will, please come up, speak clearly and loud enough in the mic, and you'll be given the opportunity to present your proposal. Anyone that's here that might have a question or an issue regarding that particular petition will be given the opportunity to come forward. Once we receive public testimony on a particular item, members of the board will deliberate, and we will render our decision tonight. I remind members with a personal or a financial interest in any particular item, you're required to recuse yourself from voting. Any testimony that is submitted by the petitioner or on behalf of the petitioner during the presentation of the agenda item will be binding as to any decision the board makes relative to the motion. Remind the members of the board that if you make a motion to deny a particular item, you must give a reason. At this time, I'll introduce the members of the board that are here tonight. Ms. K.T. Brown, our Vice Chairman, Mr. Steve Hughes, Mr. Nathan Williams, Mr. Bo Holmes, Ms. Jennifer Shaw, Mr. George Howell Jr., and I'm John Stanley, your Chairman. Our staff, Mr. Jameson, Mr. Tommy Tyson, and Ms. Tanya Ingram, and her assistant. Is there anyone here that has any questions? We have 7 here tonight. It takes 5 votes to approve a motion. And we have on the agenda tonight, we have 6 items. Tanya, are you aware of any that have been withdrawn? No, sir. Okay. Okay, if there are not any questions, we will get started. Item number 1 is presented by Franklin DeVille. Mr. DeVille here. It's regarding a height variance for a new privacy fence to be located at 3651 Edgar Nixon Avenue in an R100 zoning district. We'll come back to that if Mr. DeVille shows up. Item number 2 is presented by Dong Jin Soo, representing Billiard Cafe, requesting a special exception for a place of amusement and assembly, which includes a pool and billiards, to be located at 2711 Bell Road in a B4 zoning district. Board members, I believe this is located on the end of the Bellwood, what we call known as the Bellwood Shopping Center at the intersection of Bell Road and Vaughn Road. Mr. Hsu, tell us what you'd like to do there.
Yeah, we're gonna open the.
You're gonna have to speak louder and clearly into that mic, please.
Okay. So we're gonna open the billiard carpet, like some place for the open up the everybody.
I need your name. Are you Mr. Hsu? S-U-H?
Sorry, yeah.
Okay. And seriously, you're gonna have to speak louder,
Okay.
so we can hear you clearly, because these ladies over here are taking the minutes.
Actually, I want to open the space for billiard. Just it's a sport. Just
Okay.
yeah.
You're gonna have billiards in there? Are you, okay.
So there is no beverage. The reason why we just put the cafe, doesn't really mean it's a cafeteria. So the reason why you put that number, the name on that, is because we just want to be like the more comfortable, relaxing place for the people who want to enjoy the billiard. So there is two different billiard. The one is like the pocket billiard, and the other one is a perron. That's a 3 cushion. We stay focused on, we don't have any pool table. We just have the carom billiard. That is like a 3 cushion at the table. So that is some kind of gentle sports for everybody, and should be so quiet and gentle, and pretty much there is no music, dance, beverage, any alcohol in there. So
You say you're not going to have pool
no food.
or billiards?
No.
Then why are you here?
There is there is no alcohol, but they can bring over some water or some soda or
Are
something.
you going to have
Mr.
liquor
Chairman,
there?
Mr. Chairman, he said no food
Or alcohol.
or alcohol.
No food or alcohol? Okay, I'm not understanding you clearly here. You're going to have pool and billiards, correct?
There is no pool. There's only billiard.
Okay, you're going to have billiards. That's almost the same thing. Okay. Are you going to serve food?
No.
Are you going to serve liquor?
No.
Are you going to have any outside activities?
No.
Everything's inside?
Yes.
And you're going to have billiards?
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
Got it. And you're going to have any exterior music?
There is no music.
Okay. So
Is that-
everything's
that-
confined inside the building?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Any questions, board members?
Yeah, would you give me that again? No food, no alcohol, have billiards, no pool, no liquids, no outside activities, no music?
No music. Everything's confined to inside the building, and it's billiards, okay? No food, no liquor, no outside music. Okay? Any questions? Anyone in the audience care to address? Ma'am, you'll have to come up here if you have a question and speak clearly and loudly into the mic. And we'll need your name and your address.
Linda Burnett, Halcyon South, 1725 Laurelwood Lane. I wondered what the hours of operation are.
Okay, would you address that? The hours of operation?
It's from the 5 p.m. through the 10 p.m.
5 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Yes.
Monday through Friday or Saturdays and Sundays?
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday.
7 days a week,
7 days a week.
5 p.m. to 10 p.m., correct?
It's not fixed yet, but I think from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m.
3 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Yes.
Okay.
It says here billiard cafe.
But
You're
you
not
said in
serving
mine.
food?
Ma'am, you're going to have to speak into the mic, okay?
I said it says billiard cafe, but they're not serving food.
Well, he addressed that. He just said they're calling it a cafe. We have no control over what he calls it, okay?
Okay.
But he said they're not serving food, and they're not serving liquor, and they're not having any outside activities.
Okay, so no need for security or anything like that. I just, I'm always leery of what's going in
We-
close to neighborhoods.
Well, yes, ma'am, but we don't have any jurisdiction over security, but that's why we ask those questions, okay?
Okay.
If they were to have outside activity or serve liquor, then they would have to come back to us for the outside activity, and they would have to appeal to the ABC board for a liquor license, which you would be advised of that.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
I'm trying to figure out here, this request is being made to give the petitioner permission to operate a pool and billiard hall in an existing shopping center, yet it said that no pool.
Well, he said, he didn't call it pool, he calls it billiards.
But
Pool and billiards are basically the same
that's the
thing.
same thing.
A pool
But-
and a billiard hall.
A
I
pool.
taught school all these years.
Shooting pool.
It's
Pool
just a
table.
different way
Well, it's a
to,
billiard hall.
it's the same
pool
thing.
It's the
pool
same
doesn't
thing.
go in a
it's the same
billiard
thing.
hall.
They just have different games that are, and they call it billiards than pool.
It's
No,
the same thing.
like shooting pool.
Yeah.
That's what he's talking about. Shooting pool.
Cue stick,
In
pool
the
table.
pool where you put water in it?
No.
No.
Oh, you're not talking about a swimming pool?
We talking about
Oh, okay.
like a pool table.
Table.
Make me
Table.
understand,
Give me a
because
table.
I'm looking at a pool with water.
We're talking about a pool table or a billiard table. It's all one and the same thing.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
And I have a
Second.
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 Second. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. It's unanimous. Thank you. You're approved.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Item number 3 is presented by Jonathan Waters with Jonathan Waters Agency, LLC, requesting an exception for a band sign to be located at 520 South Perry Street in a T4R zoning district. Mr. Waters?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. All right, I believe you want permission to do an internally lit band sign. It's shown on our agenda here. It'll go on the front of that building, correct?
Yes, sir.
On Perry Street, correct?
Yes, sir.
Will it be blinking or just internally lit?
It'll just be internally lit.
Okay,
Your standard Allstate insurance sign. It's an Allstate insurance building.
yes, sir.
And I saw no problem with it.
Any questions, board members? Anyone in the audience care to address this item?
Entertain a motion.
Anyone have any questions? Y'all looking? I'll entertain a motion.
So be it.
Have a motion to approve. Have a second.
Second.
Second from Ms. Shaw. Any further discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Unanimous?
Good luck.
Thank you.
You got it. Thanks, sir. Item 4 is presented by Roderick Anderson, representing Bible Fellowship Apostolic Church, requesting a special exception for church use in the existing building located at 712 East South Boulevard in a B2 zoning district. Mr. Anderson.
I'm here on behalf of the church, to request permission to use the existing building as a youth facility, fellowship hall, office, and also we are wanting to establish an after-school program for the community.
Okay, the building is already there. You're not going to construct any new building, correct?
Correct.
You're not going to add on to the building.
Correct.
You're going to use the existing parking lot and the existing curb cut, so you're not changing anything
Right.
but the use. Okay? Any questions, board members? Anyone in the audience care to address this item?
Entertain a motion.
I'll entertain a motion.
So be it.
Have a motion to approve. Have a second. Second, Mr. Holmes. Any further discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. It's unanimous. Thank you, sir. Item 5 is presented by George Worthington, representing the Montgomery Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses, requesting a setback variance for a new ID sign to be located at 447 Perry Hill Road in the R75S zoning district. Hello, Mr. Worthington. Good to see you again.
How you doing?
After several years, y'all are back. And decided
Now
to
we're
stay-
back, yeah.
Decided to stay and improve that building and add on to it.
Well, we've, with the city's future plans to move that set, to widen that road.
Right.
That's gonna eliminate our sign, and they just wanna put that smaller monument sign just north of the new green line, which is the new setback line. And there's no way we can get 35 feet. So we're just putting it right between the sidewalk and the new property line. So
When
we
you-
just request permission to do that.
Are you going to go ahead and relocate it now or wait?
Yes, sir, we're doing it now with the remodel construction that's
Okay,
going
so
on
you're
right
not going
now.
to wait till the right-of-way's widened, you're going to move
No,
it back
we're
now?
gonna, we could probably do that, but we're not going to. We're gonna go ahead and move it now if that's okay, and just go ahead and be done with it. That way, if, in the future, whenever you do that re-widening, when it'll be done, you won't have to fool with it
Whenever
again.
that happens. I believe it's externally lit with spots from the ground up?
Yes,
Is that
sir,
right?
and, the plan shows there's gonna be a spot on either side of it, mounted at ground level. There's also, they're gonna put 2 new light poles, in front of the building, but they're just a few feet off the building. So they weren't even being addressed.
Right. You said this sign is smaller than the existing sign?
It is. It's
Okay.
4 by 8.
4 by 8?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any questions, board members? Anyone in the audience care to address this item? I'll entertain a motion.
So be it.
Have a second. Motion and approved and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you.
I didn't want to break with anything here.
Do what?
Thank you, I appreciate that. We didn't want to break with what we were already doing.
When are y'all going to be completed over there?
They're planning, like November, December, to be finished with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
That's a slow remodel for us.
that was a good decision to stay there and
It
do
is.
that.
A lot of
I
work
think-
involved
I
in it
think
with
it
all
was.
the trees and everything that come down.
yeah,
But thank you.
yeah, good luck.
May I say, I like your presentation and the information that you gave. It was easy to understand. Thank you.
Next item presented by Carzell Hunter, requesting a rear yard variance for an addition to the dwelling located at 4537 Shamrock Lane in an R100 zoning district. Mr. Hunter?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Carzell Hunter. I live at 4537 Shamrock Lane. I'm requesting an addition to my car garage. I have some old cars that I need to have undercover to get insurance on. I have a 66 Chevelle and a 77 Nova. They won't give me full coverage insurance until the cars are under something to protect them. So the only place I got is just to add on to my existing building. I have letters from all of my neighbors, my adjoining neighbors, saying that they have no problem me adding on to the building.
Okay, you're building the building right up to the rear property line.
Yes, sir.
So where does the water go that comes off that roof?
Already put in a French drain to accept all the water, because it's coming down to all the water is coming to my property anyway, from everybody else's property.
Well, is this going to be a pitched, a hip roof? Are you going to have water that's going to be spilling off onto your neighbor at the rear?
Here's my contractor.
All right, tell us what you're doing, because let me just say,
I understand.
we take a very serious view of spilling water onto your adjacent property owner. So we got to have a good explanation, because that water's coming off that building and it's falling on your neighbor. You're going to have a problem in the future, and we're not going to be part of it.
My name is Gary Owens. I'm not his contractor, but I'm a contractor in the past. I'm a close friend. Yes, it is already at a hip roof that's currently there. It's just going to continuing that to the end. The water that's currently coming from the other properties around it is all running down on his property. The back end of that property is actually elevated by almost 1.5 feet. So in order for the water to reach that and crest back into another neighbor's, there's going to be one major flood. He's already taken the necessary precautions and had French drains put in underneath what would eventually be the slab if it's approved. And there's no issue of water whatsoever.
But you're still going to have a hip that's going to spill water on that rear property line.
Yes, sir, but it's going to come right back down on his, because that rear property line is elevated by almost 1 foot.
I heard what you said.
And that property owner has already signed a petition saying that he has no problem whatsoever with this going in. And we have that documentation.
So is the roof going to overhang
No, sir.
So the roof's going to be on the property line?
It's going to be a zero property line, yes, sir, at that time.
So the building itself is setting off the property line, what, about a foot?
Yes, sir.
And you got about a 1 foot overhang?
Yes, sir. Well, actually, it's going to be about a 6 inches.
What about the possibility of putting gutters on that, a gutter system on the back side
Very easily
of
done.
that hip
Yes, sir.
and bring that water back this way?
And divert it to the front, yes, sir.
Could you do that?
Absolutely.
That would be an idea. I'm not sure that's a permanent problem. I mean, a permanent solution.
Yes, sir.
It could one day be a problem, okay? And that's why I'm making a big deal out of it now, so it's of our record.
Absolutely.
Because the city cannot be responsible for water going on to the adjacent property owner.
We agree.
So, Tommy, do you see a problem with that?
No, sir.
Okay, as long as we got that of record, correct?
Right.
Okay? And this decision will survive to the next property owner. So if you sell this property later, whoever buys your property is going to have this issue on them one day,
He
possibly.
also owns that lot next to him, as you can see
Excuse
there.
me?
He also owns the lot next to him, as you can see
I
that
know,
as well.
but things happen. People change, people sell property.
Roger that.
Okay. So you would agree,
Yes, sir.
sir, that he would put a gutter system across the rear of the building?
Yes, sir.
Catch that water and throw it back to the front.
Yes, sir.
You okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions, board members? No. Anyone in the audience care to address this item? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved from
Motion to
Mr.
approve.
Howell.
Second.
Based on what we talked about, right?
Yes, as discussed.
Oh, okay.
You got it.
Second.
Got a second, Ms. Shaw. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Vote unanimous.
Thank you.
Good luck. Did Mr. DeVille show up? We'll delay it to next meeting. Tanya? Are you are you here on behalf of Mr. DeVille? Okay. We'll just delay it to the next meeting. Okay? Have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Yes.
Second.
Very sure.
There's a question. I want something removed from the minutes. On number 7, you got absent home and then you got absent none. You gonna take that off? Thank you.
All right. We have a motion to approve the minutes now. Mr. Howell, have a second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All in favor of the meeting being adjourned, say
Well
aye.
adjourned.
Aye.